Let's go to Psalm 27. Psalm 27. We won't do all of his. I'll give you a breather here. I'm just going to jump to verse 4. Psalm 27, verse 4. David says this, "One thing I've desired of the Lord, and that I will seek, that I may dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of my life, to behold the beauty of the Lord and to inquire in his temple." Now, this is one of those pieces that I thought, oh, heaven's going to be wonderful. I'm going to abide in his temple. I'm going to look at his beauty, and I'm going to ask him questions. You know, how many of you have a question? When I get there, I'm going to ask him that. Right. I mean, everybody does that. When I get there, this is the first thing I'm going to ask him. You know, we're already into asking questions. But everywhere I go, people say, what does he look like? I mean, it's a real curiosity about what does he look like? What does he look like? We have Akiana's paintings here, and we've got her Prince of Peace that people have, some people who have, it's a little boy, isn't it, that went to heaven and said, that's what he looks like. Everybody wants to know, what does he look like? It's interesting, when you see him commonly, what he looks like doesn't make that much difference because it's the sheer force of his personality that gets you. But I'm doing this, and I'm realizing David is saying, one thing I've desired of the Lord. If you're going to give me one thing, we're back to the target. Give me one thing, Lord. And notice that he doesn't have all the rest of them listed. You know, this isn't a priority piece. This is, I only want one thing. How many of us are ready to say that? I want one thing. I've actually had an Immanuel session where I realized the one thing is the answer to everything. If I get a chance, I'll share that with you. But one thing, and I'm not listing any others. I'm satisfied if you give me this one thing. And here it is. That I will seek, by the way. Notice it's intentional. A lot of people, when you get into the supernatural, if it's not something that you're not looking for, then it must be real. But if you're looking for it, it must be you. So we're going to talk about how to discern some of that. But here's David, and he says, I'm going to be intentional about this. I want to dwell with you. And that means I want to look at how beautiful you are, and I want to ask you questions. Okay, I want to have a relationship with you, a living relationship with you. Okay, I did really well with this until that little phrase that's in the middle there, all the days of my life. Oops. I'm doing heaven, right? I'm doing heaven. I'm in the temple. I'm looking at his beauty. I'm inquiring. Oops, all the days of my life. If you read that, what it really means is all the days of your life, which is today one of them? Today is one of them. All the days of your life, you get to see him, you get to dwell with him, and you get to ask questions. You get to be with him. You get to talk to him. You get to relate to him.